Why, hello there and welcome to the Aviator, a show specially tailored to keep you updated on the goings-on in the Nigerian aviation industry, from the regulatory bodies to the activities of the ministry and her agencies such as NCAA, NAMA, FAN and NIMET, as well as airlines, passengers and other industry players. All these and more when we return. In today's program, the Honorable Minister for Aviation, Stella Adua, talks about her mission in the ministry. We also listen to the Managing Director of the Federal Aviation Authority of Nigeria, Mr. George Uriesi, as he speaks extensively on the reconstruction efforts done in many of the airports in Nigeria, as well as hear the responses of the passengers to these activities. The Honorable Minister for Aviation, Stella Adua, needs no introduction. Since her becoming minister, she has served notice that it will no longer be business as usual in the aviation ministry. From the BARIC saga to the spate of remodeling exercises going on in many of the airports in the country, to the ongoing discriminatory fair pricing regime of some international airlines. At the Aviator, we thought it best to start our first episode by talking to her about her mission as well as other raging issues in the aviation industry.
I think that if we're going to transform, it has to be total transformation. The ministry hasn't been so bad. In the ministry, you have very well educated, in my ministry, very, very knowledgeable men and women. All they were looking for was good leadership to enhance what they already have and to provide them the vision that they require to move forward. And so I'm not inventing wheel within the ministry. All I'm doing is providing the leadership and to say we can't do it this way, this is how we ought to do it. My vision for aviation is to ensure its self-reliance, to ensure that we are in tune with international standard and that we are the catalyst for Nigerian economy. Because without aviation, you really cannot do much. That's how your investors come in. That's what showcases who you are. That's what tells your visitors who may end up being your potential investors that this is the gateway. If the gateway is good, what you see inside obviously will be good. We want to ensure we rehabilitate all the airports. We want to also make sure that we have fundamental change in our policies and procedures. For instance, we have acts that, and policies that are almost 38 years old now. It just cannot function in today's context. And so we have changed and updated those policies. Also, in rehabilitating the airport, they were divided into phase 1, phase 2. Phase 1, we are almost finished now, almost 90% finished. Phase 2 is about to commence May and will finish by 4 months down the line. Because we have 22 airports, and so we need to split it into, for budgetary purposes, we had to split it into 2, phase 1, phase 2. Phase 1, we did 11 airports. Phase 2, we're going to do the remaining airports plus the cargo, agro cargo in particular. And then while we're doing that, just as a bridge, the long term is for us to have 4 brand new international airports. Now, the rehabilitation, when we went to site and when the consultant started, we realized that it's not really rehabilitation. We're actually doing reconstruction because they had gone so terribly bad. And if you're saying you want to ensure passengers' comfort, you want to ensure that air travel becomes the preferred mode of transportation. Therefore, you must give a semblance of what passengers will get internationally. It cannot just be to fix the bulbs and paint the offices. So it was a new construction altogether. And I'm really happy we're able to do that. And the most important part of it is that they were done the fraction of what they were being done in the past. And so it's a huge milestone. For travelers in the next couple of months, we'll see huge difference. It's very discomforting now and definitely sad to see how passengers are trying to bear with us. But I think everybody agrees that no pain, no gain. So we have to bear this little pain. And I do apologize for us to have the bigger gain for all our sakes. If my neighbor that has less business volume than myself is getting a lower price than I'm getting, obviously either you don't appreciate the volume I'm giving you, or you don't have respect for me, or you have an attitude that I'm just nothing. Either way, there has to be a reason, and that reason cannot be a good reason for you to treat me unfairly while I have a much better business with you. And in addition to that, you've been with me far longer than my neighbor. All I'm asking is, tell me why. Why do I deserve to be treated the way you're treating me? If you say there is no reason, then revert. Be fair. Treat me as you're treating my neighbor. I think aviation ministry, aviation sector, it's transformation personified. It's transformation guarded. It's transformation roadmap, if you like. Why? Because every single thing, our master plan is about transformation. Because we are changing from the anomaly, and that's what I think we are in. Aviation sector today is an anomaly to a normal situation. And when that happens, it's a total change. It's transformation. Everything is transformation. The staff, the capacity building within the aviation, the infrastructure, rehabilitation and upgrade, the policies and the procedure, the master plan itself, which was never in place. It's all transformation. You'll expect functional airports. All the airports will be functional and will be standard and will be licensed by ICAO. 2, you will see functional infrastructure. You will also have in place first-class international airports, 4 of them in Nigeria. You will have a robust domestic airline. You will have perishable and value line in aviation that will transcend to rural emancipation. You will have for the first time a robust farm to supermarkets platform in Nigeria. And in summary, you will have aviation as you've never had it in Nigeria.
When we return, we'll be going straight into our interview with the Managing Director of the Federal Aviation Authority of Nigeria, FAN, as he talks about the new FAN.
We all have dreams of the very best for our children. We strive to bequeath to them a better future. But how can we if they are not safe? How can we if terror drives away investment and leaves our economy in shambles? How can we if our children cannot go to school for fear of terror? How can we if they can't play and interact freely without segregation? The future of our country and our children is under threat, and we need to do something urgently. Speak up, say something against terrorism. Act now. This is a message from Neighbor to Neighbor Network.
Lately, the aviation industry has become a beehive of activities with the commissioning of the reconstruction project of all airports in Nigeria. This, according to Aviation Minister Stella Odua, is an indicator to the overall reformation of the country through the vehicle of the Goodluck Jonathan transformation agenda. In this master stroke, all 22 airports in the country will receive a new look, starting with 11, some of which have already advanced in remodeling and will be fully ready for operation by the end of 2012. Airports to be covered in Phase 1 of this project include Lagos, Abuja, Kaduna, Kano, Zaria, Jos, Bauchi and Benin, among others. Managing Director of the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, FAN, Mr. George Oriese, working as a team, speak more on this project and why they must be undertaken now.
If you go around now, we're building simultaneously in a number of airports, 11 airports currently, and later in the year, another 11 airports. We have 22 airports. And FAN hasn't done this for more than 30 years. Building in the airport environment is hectic because you can't close the airport to build it. So somehow you have to accommodate the current passenger flow with the fact that you are changing and reconstructing the airport. A lot of people don't understand when we say we are remodeling. They think of it in terms of paintwork, touch-ups here and there. Many people have called it patch. It's out of ignorance. I won't say much until we finish. People will see what we're doing. In most of these airports, they will not be recognizable when we're done, outside and inside. We're changing the way the infrastructure interacts with the people that use it so that we'll begin to give our people a sense of respect and dignity when they go through the airports. Because the airports were in a state that didn't give you respect and dignity. Toilets were terrible. The environment was terrible, the ambience was poor, the air conditioning was poor, the service was poor. So we're changing all of that.
Station Manager, Kaduna Airport, Alhaji Ringim, reassures Nigerians about the minister's intentions. He speaks further about the former states of the airports and what Nigerians will be getting after this remodeling exercise.
When I came, I met the Hajj terminal in a dilapidated condition. Within a short period of time, the Honorable Minister was able to rehabilitate or support us to rehabilitate the Hajj terminal, which it was commissioned within a short period of time. And the Sultan personally made comments commending her in in respect of any sentiment, he was able to do that. It's very commendable. And the second one is the Hajj passenger terminal, which is undergoing rehabilitation work, which also is another landmark that if a honorable minister will come within a short period of time, as you can see, the work is in progress, and hopefully within the at the end of this month or early next month, the place will be completed. And also you can see the new control tower that is going on there. And I believe the honorable minister came as an iron lady to make sure that he transformed the airport. Not that other ministers have not done something, during their time, but the accelerated development now people are witnessing is very encouraging.
What is happening here now is a big relief for all of us. Airport workers and the passengers. Before the advent of this administration, there have been attempts by various administrations that they will expand and the structure, make things better. But at one point or the other, you have all these dreams, drained off. When the new administration came in, and there was this idea sold to all of us that as many as 11 airports will be operated at the same time. Some people were skeptical. I believe things could work, and I was actually looking forward to it, having suffered for so long, trying to manage the dilapidated facilities. But through to the words of the minister, work started. Started seeing the contractors coming in, and I can tell you, we are taking steps in many areas, doing so many things at the same time. We have already briefed the airport workers, the airline, the security agencies, the concessionaires, that they were going to feel some pains because you are taking your steps in many areas. But you can see yourself, can see the results. We are remodeling, that is the language now. And what the remodeling means is that, we want to make the present structure and facility better than what it used to be, so that one will take us a sort of break from the past. And like the program that I know that the ministry has, after this remodeling, we are still going to have additional structures added in form of terminals and the rest. But let us have what is on ground, better expanded, and to make it functional, expanded, and make passenger experience a new thing completely.
Passengers and customers of the aviation industry also took time to speak about these ongoing projects.
The renovation has been long expected because Nigeria is past these levels and standards, so it's supposed to be something better and unique.
It couldn't have come at a better time.
But well, we see constructions going on. They don't look major to me, but well, it's a good step in the right direction. Let's see how far it goes.
Well, I believe with the present government, I think they are trying. Let's give them a trial and let's see what they could be able to bring out at the end of the day. But I believe, I am optimistic that at the end of the day, Nigeria aviation industry will be better.
I like to see an airport like Atlanta, Georgia. Hartsfield Airport in Atlanta, the best of the best around the world. Very clean, no congestion. You have conveyor train that moves you from one gate to the other. If you ever miss your flight, you've just been too loose or too lazy or something, because there's just no way. There's connection from point A to point B, and beautiful place. A lot of space. You can move around, and so we could do the same thing in Nigeria. We have the money. If they channel the money, the resources in the right direction, we can do the same thing.
When you look at it, you begin to ask yourself, how come all this while these things have not been done? You walk to some airports now, there are some basic things you see. You walk in, you have a feeling that you are at the airport and not the motor park. You begin to see those things. So it's a gradual thing. Development progress does not grow up, like a tree. It's a process, and in that process, there could be little pains, discomfort, inconvenience, which we are seeing. I went to Port Harcourt Airport, and I was lost. I said, But even in the readjustment, you can see the form of the great things that are about to happen. And that's what we're talking about. Transformation will not just happen one night. It is a process. And in that process, there could be pains, there could be inconveniences, there could be things that will look as if things are not happening. But guess what? Once the process of the thing is on, the end of it, forget it, it's going to bloom in excellence.
The aviation minister unveiled the industry's master plan as a strategy to further consolidate the transformational reforms already going on within the industry. At a stakeholders forum which witnessed the attendance of the cream of the industry, Honorable Stella Odua revealed that the time when leadership ran in circles is long gone. The Goodluck Jonathan administration, she says, will not rest on its oars in transforming the country to the pride and joy of the African continent.
Airports will be developed into city airports. Now, airports are not just airports. Airports are villages and cities. Why so? Because airport has everything and anything that city has. It has all the infrastructure, it has all the amenities, it has all the facilities. And so, you can come into an airport, do every business and any business you intend to do, and you can fly back from there without coming into the city center. That is the concept of airport city. That's our master plan.
This is the right time. Some people might say it's late. It's best to be late than never to do it at all.
From what the minister has done and is doing so far, it is self-evident that we are already on the right track. What you as stakeholders must do is to give the Ministry of Aviation all the support at your behest to enable them to remain on track.
Our final segment today is Airline Focus, and the airline in focus is Arik Air. Arik Air was founded in 2006, and today it flies to several locations in West Africa, Africa, Europe, and North America. We had an exclusive chat with its Managing Director and Vice President Flight Operations. Here's the interview.
Arik came on as a response to the fact that Nigerians needed a good airline, and Sarume Mikide took it upon himself to set up an airline that Nigerians will be proud of. And we'll put that in quote because that's exactly what he said. He wanted an airline that Nigerians will be proud of. And that's how the story started in 2006. We were able to commence operations on October 30, 2006. And the essence was to build a world-class airline that will do both domestic and regional and international flights. The patronage of Nigerians has been quite good and quite commendable. We're very grateful to Nigerians because we couldn't have just become such a large airline within a very short time if we didn't get the patronage. So obviously Nigerians have welcomed us very warmly and have patronized us so much. Both Nigerians living in Nigeria and Nigerians abroad, because we also fly to the US and to the UK. And in all these destinations, we also fly to so many destinations in West Africa, as well as South Africa, Joburg. In all these places, the majority of passengers, as much as 98% of passengers are Nigerians. So we couldn't have become what we are today if not for the patronage of Nigerians.
If we're given the right environment and we're being protected, because there is no harm in protecting your own. If we're being protected by the government and other agencies, and then we're being nourished, it's like a child growing. You nourish it so that it can grow to be a strong person. If we're given that environment and we grow fast and everything, I can see that Arik Air will be one of the biggest airlines in Africa. I can see Arik Air going to compete with Emirates and all other airlines of the world.
It's fundamental change.
Well, that's it for the Aviator this week. Until next week, I am Nina Ene. Remember, spread your wings and keep flying.